Hello and welcome back to the special stage live stream of the MRF Tyres BTRDA Championship final round, the Cambrian Rally. And we are in stage 1, that's Elsie, and as you may have noticed, I'm not Paul Woodford. Paul has gone on holiday, for those of you who've just joined us and didn't hear what I said earlier. So you've got me today. I'll be with you throughout this stage, and then I'll be back for another run through Elsie later on this afternoon. So we've already had quite a lot of action here this morning, and now we're awaiting the top of our field. Car number 1, last year's Interclub winner Matthew Hurst and Declan Deer. Well, they're certainly not hanging around. After a disappointing last couple of rounds of the BTRDA, they ruled themselves out of securing first or second. First was obviously won by Elliot Payne, second Aaron Newby, but today they're in a battle for the third place with Russ Thompson. So they are not hanging around, they're all over it this morning. Matthew in his pre-start interview was saying this stage was pretty full on for the first one of the day. It's almost 9 miles, lots of corners, lots to think about as these crews get going this morning. 5 stages, 45 stage miles. Next up should be Tom Cave. Tom Cave and Dale Furness there, covering us in gravel. Tom was saying he was nervous about coming and doing this rally. It's the first time he's done it for a little while. He's been off doing European stuff in that polo, so I'm sure he's keen to see how their times will match up to the rest of the field today. So as I mentioned, the BTRDA has already been sewn up by Elliot, who isn't here this weekend, neither is Aaron. So it's all to play for Matthew and Russ. Next up, Gary Pearson and Hannah McKillop. Another polo. Beautiful day here for the event. Last year was a very different story, very wet, but we've got gorgeous sunshine here this morning. And from the sounds of things, plenty of spectators out watching. So if you are out watching, please do listen to the marshals. Please go to the spectator areas. Lots of work's gone in to make sure that you've got them and there's facilities there. And keep this event running on time. We are running a bit late today, but maybe we can make up some of that time throughout the day. Next up, Ollie Mellors and Ian Windress. If you're watching on the live stream, let us know where from. Let us know who you're supporting, who you're most excited about seeing today. Any stages that you're particularly excited about seeing. We will be bringing you coverage of 4 of the 5 stages. And the crews will be finishing this evening in Llandudno on the promenade. So if you're in the area, do get down and see them and support them. You can get up real close to the rally cars and chat to the drivers and the co-drivers afterwards. And let's see how these final BTRDA battles shake down. Luke Francis and John Roberts in another Fiesta. We've even got people watching as they're waiting to start, which I love. Shout out to Tony Simpson. Car 20, I'll try and remember to wave to you, Tony, but I do get a bit distracted. Especially when there's gravel flying at me. There's Russ and Stephen. Russ Thompson and Stephen Link. We'll be ready to get some times. Hopefully they'll come through quickly. So Paul Woodford, not here, in Turkey on holiday. Hope you're having a lovely holiday, Paul. Is apparently using his wife's phone to comment on here, so... Yeah. Vicky's obviously taken his to the beach, Paul stayed in with hers and is watching the live stream because that is the dedication that he has to this championship. Shout out to Mark Wilco watching from Nebo, monitoring the safety radio backup, and he says good luck to Stockport 061 Motor Club who are running LC. So another big thank you to all the marshals who were out here today volunteering their own time to make sure this event can run smoothly. Bob Wiggins is watching from York whilst at work. Yes, Bob, it is nice and sunny. It is a little bit chilly. Next up, Ian Bainbridge and Will Atkins. Hi, Ian Davis, who's watching from the Pirelli Trekking Service. So plenty of action through the rest of this stage this morning. And as you'll have noticed, there's a few of the BRC cars mixed in as well. Oh, we've got someone else watching from New Zealand. Max McRae and Cameron Fair. They were not hanging around, were they? Great to see them out in the Skoda. Daniel Evans is supporting car 34, Ricky Crone. So a little while to wait. We've got minute gaps here through this almost 9-mile stage. They'll come through here again, but not the part that we're on. This is sort of the extended LC that we're stood at the moment. A stage that's not been used since 2020, so it's had a bit of a break. Alan Carmichael and Claire Williams in the Hyundai. David's still watching from Saudi Arabia, and we've got Minku watching from India. We've got James Freund, sorry, I hope I'm saying that, watching from Essex. Now he's waiting for Ben Friend and Cliffy Simmons. They're in a bit of a battle in the two-wheel drive today. Let's see where they can finish up. was car 75, so they must have been a late addition. I don't know who that is. I'll have to... I don't know. Does anyone know who car 75 is? I couldn't see the numbers. Don't think so. Ooh. I'm just going to watch it back on here. Ooh. Still can't see. So I'm sure they're on the seeded entry list, start list, sorry, from last night, but I haven't got to that. I've just got the start list that maybe was from earlier on. Contingency, James McCarville and Ryan Farrell. So it's Andrew Purcell in car 75. Thank you very much for that, Michael. As I say, not on my list to make a note, so I remember for next time when they come round. Getting showered with stones again. That was Daniel Sigurdsson and Asta Sigurd. Oh gosh, I'm really sorry, I'm not going to be able to say that very well. Sigurdottir. Had a go, but I do apologise because that is probably incorrect. We've got a few people watching from service. Jamie is watching from service as well. So plenty more stages to come after this. All the live action today with special stage. Starting to get some time, so through this stage, Matthew Haas, 11:26.1, Russ Thompson, 11:36.2, Luke Francis, 11:47.4. That's Simon Rogers and James Howe, respectively from the Ludlow Castle Club and Taunton MC Club in the Mitsubishi. So yeah, just some initial times coming through there, but they are slightly muddled.
No surprise really, is it?
But Matt Hurst and Declan Deer, that's the way they will have wanted to have started in that battle that they've got going on today. And now we start to see the two-wheel drives come through. So that was Ben Friend and Cliffy Simmons. And they're in that battle for the Silver Star. Still to be finalised today. So we're looking out for some of those other two-wheel drive contenders now. It's another late entry. 74. If anyone knows who car 74 is, do let me know. So I've got some merged stage times now as well, so I should be able to see where everyone is rather than they're separated between Interclub and National. That's 16, Adrian Hetherington and Ronan O'Neill. So looking at the merged stage times, the fastest through this stage, stage 1, is Tom Cave with an 11.5. We've got Gary Pearson next with an 11.21.7, and then Ollie Mellors with an 11.30. I mean, that seems phenomenally quick compared to everyone else. And we've got the defender times on that one as well. It's definitely a stone to the face. That was Boyd Kershaw and Keegan Rees. Currently leading the way, hoping to firm up that Silver Star win today. So the next stage, stage 2 that they all go into, is a non-spectator stage. But we'll hopefully start to get some times from there as well soon. So just to recap, Tom Kay currently fastest through this stage, stage 1, with an incredible 11 minutes 11. That's 10 seconds faster than Gary Pearson behind him, with an 11.21. A very quite poorly sounding Kyle White and Sean Topping in that Peugeot. Didn't sound so good coming through there. Hopefully they're all right and it's a problem that they can get sorted fairly quickly. And they're being caught, I think. By Robert Proudlock and Steve Brown in the Opel Adam. So just to recap on some of those times that we've got so far, we've got Tom Cave with 11.11, Gary Pearson 11.21, Ollie Mellors 11.30, Max McRae 11.46, James McCarville with a 12.07, Alan Carmichael with a 12.08, And then we're into the defenders. So leading the way there at the moment is Miles Williams. And then in the interclub, we've got Matthew Hurst, 11.26, and Russ Thompson, 11.36, with Luke Francis, and then 11.47. That's Kyle McBride and Leah McIntyre. So I'm just hearing from Matthew Hurst and Declan Deer that they had a small off, which could have cost them about 10 seconds. So they'll be disappointed about that, but maybe that just shows how much more they've got to come. They shouldn't be disheartened. Martin Andrews and Steve Greenhill there, just coming through. So a few more times in that interclub. After Luke Francis, we've got Daniel Sigurdsson, 12.01, Ian Bainbridge with a 12.04, Andrew Purcell with a 12.13. Then we've got Dave Brick, 13.06, Ashley Francis Adams with a 13.09, Nigel Jenkins with a 13.09.4. Very close between those two. And then we've got Dylan Fowler with a 13.09.9, so very close between those three. So for those of you just joining us, this is the special stage live stream of the final round of the MRF Tyres BTRDA Rally Championship. That's David Tomlin and Keith Ashley just coming past us now. And then I've got some very helpful people on the live stream telling me who those are, who I haven't got their numbers yet. 74 was Catherine McCourt from Northern Ireland. Thank you very much to Trevor for that. I'm hearing some very exciting plans for next year's commentary, which will make things much better. We'll be able to bring you a much smoother experience, less wrestling with wet bits of paper, I believe, which will be helpful. You hope. We hope. So apparently it's raining in Brecon, so we're very lucky. Neil Roston, enjoying hearing a Mark II go through the forest. Can't help but agree with you there, Neil. She says, as Keelan Grogan and Ayrton Sherlock come through in the Peugeot. Swiftly followed by Owen Roberts and Daniel Jones in the Escort. So no times yet for stage 2. We'll bring you some of those when we do get them, so you've got a good idea of where everyone's sitting. But we're just over an hour now into this first stage of the day. LC1, almost 9 miles long to start the cruise off for the day. Robert Utting and Bob Stoke. Few championship class battles still to be decided, so we'll be keeping an eye on those. But also just plenty of rally in action, 45 stage miles today. And Wales is treating us quite nicely so far with the weather. I wouldn't say it's particularly warm, but it's not raining, so I'll take that. And we keep getting a bit of sunshine, which is lovely as well. So Paul's asking if the 208 was catching the Escort, but I actually think that's the way round they were on the road, and the Escort might have been catching the 208 as opposed to it being the other way round. Thank you, Martin Corbett, who's watching. The event are really proud of these stages. You'll have probably seen quite a lot of posts on social media about them. They do look great. Hopefully we'll find out from some of the crews how they're feeling to drive. Jack Brennan and John McGrath there. Another Peugeot 208. So just do a recap of the top of the Interclub. So we've got Matthew Hurst, followed by Russ Thompson, then Luke Francis, Daniel Segerson, Ian Bainbridge, Andrew Purcell, Catherine McCourt, and then we're starting to get some of those important two-wheel drive times now. So we've got Ben Friend with a 12:28. So that was, and then Boyd Kershaw's done a 12:27. 12:47, apologies. So it's quite close between them still. So we'll have to keep an eye on that to see how that shakes down. And then just having a look through the ones that are called the merged times. We've got Tom Cave with that incredible 11:11. Gary Pearson, 11:21, Ollie Mellors, 11:30, Max McRae, 11:46, James McCarville, 12:07, Alan Carmichael, 12:08, Carl McBride, 12:53, and Kyle White, 13:36. So as I said earlier, we are hoping to see where that third place in the BTRDA gold falls. Matt and Declan reporting they had a slight off, but still the fastest time for them. Steve Hollis and Tim Curry coming through there, closely followed by Daniel Moss and Samuel Davies, but I think they've been overtaken. They did have their hazard lights on as well, which suggests they may have been overtaken in stage. They might have a problem. Which is a shame for any crew. So much effort goes into these events, and and then it's really disappointing when on stage 1 you start to have issues. Next up, Johan Falkesen and Hida Karen Falkesdottir. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm butchering these even worse than I normally butcher names. But very interested to know if they've all come over together, if they've come over, or if they live here. If anyone knows anything about Crew 30, it'd be great to get a bit more info on them. Although actually, did someone mention earlier they've come over from Sweden? There's so much to think about. So we can hear more cars approaching us now. We're about halfway into stage 1 of the day. Ernie and Karen Graham. They are, I think they've pretty much sewn up the historic Car Cup, and they're also in that battle for the Silver Star. So there's lots of things to take into consideration. I know lots of people know this, watch rallying, have family involved in rallying, but there's drop scores that are taken into account at the end of the year. So it's a little less straightforward than you might think when it comes to adding up the final scores. So that's why there's a little bit of uncertainty going in about who could finish where. Someone will know, I'm sure. Ah, they're from Iceland. So great to see crews over from Iceland. I'm sorry for butchering your names. So that was 76. Just having a look at who they are. Oh, they're not on any of my lists either. So sorry, another call out. If anyone knows, please do let me know. Next up, Aoife Rafferty and Damien Connolly in the Ford Fiesta. So still no times for stage 2, still waiting for a few more from stage 1, and we've got plenty more action coming our way.
Nice shot of Fred and Evan. Nice.
So first car due in stage 2 was at 10:13, but they were running about half an hour late. So first car's probably going in now. A little tentative there from Colin Minton and Bonnie Papa in the Fiesta R5. So the crews will be back through this stage LC2 at 1 38, assuming we catch up some of that time that we lost this morning. So they'll be going through Brennig shortly. The first time through that, just a short stage through there. Another one of the spectator stages, stage 3. Oh, so we're hearing that Crew 30, the driver's actually only 17 years old and from Iceland. So that's incredible. '34, Ricky Crone and Eiffen Devine. So yeah, we should get some real stories out of some of these events for people later on. The first time out, 17 years old, come over from Iceland. And maybe someone can send me how to pronounce their name on WhatsApp. So try and get an update on some more of those results. Should be getting a few more of those two-wheel drive results through now as well. So we've got Ben Friend with the 12:28, Boy Kershaw with the 12:27. And that's Jack Harris and Aaron O'Regan in the Fiesta R2. Plenty of those out today. So there's no time yet, I don't think, for Ernie and Karen, unless I've missed it. So we'll get some more of those times coming through soon. Oh, we've got someone watching from Hull and someone else watching from Pakistan. Oh, okay, so Crew 30 are from Iceland, not Sweden. Sorry, I must have said that earlier. And the driver is 18 years old, so what a feat. So I'm hearing the 0 cars now in SS2. So we'll get some times from there in about 10 minutes, hopefully. Stephen Wah and Mark Broadbent in another Fiesta. So as I say, loads of action to come today. 45 stage miles. We're live in 4 out of the 5 stages. This is stage 1. Next up, that's Liam Griffith and Daniel James. And we've got people watching from all over the world. A few people watching from New Zealand. We've got Saudi Arabia, Australia, Hull. And it's great that we can bring you this for those who can't be out here. Melanie Capel, good luck, car 51, Mike and Tom. That's Mike Jenkins and Tom Torngan. A little bit of sideways action from Callum Griffiths and William Lewis there. We do have quite this incredible view. I don't know if you can spot it on the live stream, but I've noticed a lot of the co-drivers are turning a page as they're coming towards us. So you're briefly seeing them look up, because co-drivers don't tend to look up very much. They feel their way round to the stage, is my understanding. I've only sat in the seat a couple of times. We've got John Reed watching. He'll be marshalling in a few weeks' time for the Wydeen. But here it's all about the final round of the BTRDA. Colin Griffiths and Mark Morgan. Had 3 Griffiths all in a row in the Subaru. So yeah, just being reminded, a big shout out to all the marshals. Thank you so much for being here. People do keep reminding us on the comments. Yes, car 223 has been through stage 1, Tom. So the minis all came first, then the 1400s, then the Defenders, and then we've had the main field for the Interclub. Next up, Richard Sean and Alan Hayward in another Ford Fiesta. So the sun's gone behind a cloud here, and it looks slightly more moody than it has done all morning. So we could see the conditions start to change. As the crews head into their second stage of the day, we're hearing the Zero car is in stage 2. It's not a spectator stage, but we should start to get some results from there soon. Meanwhile, here on stage 1, Elsie. Cars continue to come. Next at 42, Sam Mason and James Seymour. So we're covering stage 1, stage 2, stage 4 and stage 5 today. So we'll be getting some action from stage 2, Craig, and you'll be able to watch the live stream there. So we're just looking on the tracker, and we can see that Tony Simpson didn't actually make it as far as us in the States. It's car 26, Tony Simpson and Stefan Arnold. Meanwhile, Ryan Evans and David Evans coming past us there in the Escort Mark II. There's a few people saying that they're hoping for this weather when they're out. But let's see. It's all about luck. And as I say, I can see a big dark cloud coming, so it could change. The weather could certainly change. So 5 stages of action today. Most of the crews have now done the first one, so just 4 more to do. A shorter version of this one will be running later. We'll be bringing you all the live action around 20 to 2. But we're live in 4 of the 5 stages today. That's Jeff Phelps and Colin Jenkins having a good slide around. Got a puncher. Oh, Wayne says that's because they've got a puncher. Didn't see that bit. So hopefully they can get that repaired quickly. I'm just watching it back now on the delay. Oh yeah, I can see they've got a puncher. 45, Andrew Stokes and Johnny Tad Evans. Just checking to see if we've got any times yet. Stage 2, nope, nothing yet. As the cars continue to come through, minute gaps, so if there's been no catching by this sort of halfway point where we are at, it feels like quite a long time. And as I mentioned earlier, we know we've lost at least one car. We can see on the tracker that they've stopped further up the stage. Next up, Andrew Fox and Jamie Lee Fox in the BMW. So a bit of a delayed start to the day and therefore a bit delayed getting timings. But loads more action to come. That incredibly fast time from Tom Cave, who was nervous. He said he was nervous, but then also followed it up with, it's like riding a bike. So obviously he hasn't forgotten anything from his break from the event. Benton and Ollie Benton. Stephen from the Track Rod Motor Club, where the BTRDA were a few weeks ago, and Ollie from the Yorkshire Car Club. Another one with a puncher, but that is the unfortunate thing on the stages like this. This is where anything can happen. This is where time can be so easily lost. That's Hyrule Davis and Jamie Atherton. Yeah, a puncher can change everything. Fortunately, those guys look like they might make it to the end. It's still quite a long way to go, though. Almost 9 miles this stage, and we're about halfway through. It's quite a long way to try and limp back with a puncher. And also, it depends how many spares you carry, because people don't want to carry too many spares, because obviously it weighs you down and can slow you down. But it's a bit of a risk not carrying enough. And it's a while until they get to go to service. As I said previously, service isn't far away. They've intentionally made this rally more compact, but not ideal. From Chelmsford and Robert Albert Clark clubs, respectively.
Oh, you get so impressed.
As I mentioned a little earlier, this event, all the competitors and safety vehicles being offset with carbon positive motorsport. Fewer road miles than previously they've had on the event, trying to reduce the carbon footprint. And yes, that weather's just turned. We've got cold hands and feet here. Dan Chester and Paul Barbett there from Whitchurch. Another BMW. So the whole of the rally live with special stage. Almost all the rally live with special stage today. The 68th year of the Visit Conwy Cambrian Rally, organised by the North Wales Car Club. The clerk of the course called it the most challenging and compact routes we have ever designed. So be interesting to see what the drivers say at service. Hopefully we'll be able to get a vibe from them. They've got these great spectator stages, Brennig and Elsie. They ran Brennig last year and they've got hospitality there. You can get a cup of tea, which is nice. I've not been to the facilities at Elsie, but I know they have them there also. Jonathan Lee Jones and Glenn Mercer, car 57. They were ahead quite a few places, so don't know if that's reseeding or we've lost a few cars. Jenkins and Tom Torgren. Now, someone earlier was saying they were cheering him on from home. They're excited to see them go. So there they are. I hope you're still watching. This was early on, I think, after our initial delays. Still a few more cars to go here on this stage. Do stay with us. We will be live in stage 2, stage 4 and stage 5 also today. Time's a bit TBC because of that delay this morning. James Amini and Rich Jones. Someone talking about cake on the comments. Love some cake. Still no times yet for stage 2. As I say, a non-spectator stage, but we have got a crew in there bringing you the live action. Martin Walters and Marie Fletcher coming through down there. About 10 more cars to come through this stage. Do stay till the end and cheer everyone on. Let me know what your favourite round of the BTRDA has been this year. I know there's some people who have chosen not to come and do the last event of the year because they've already won their championship or they didn't stand a chance of getting a place or for other various reasons. So do let us know if you're one of those watching which was your favourite to take part in, or if you're sat in the queue waiting to start the stage. Favourite round of the rally of the season. Maybe it's today. Cyril Crook and Paul Pritchard. And they've got Martin and Dylan Bargate hot on their heels. Brian Cox is watching the cars with surround sound, which sounds like a great idea. Maybe not me so much though, Brian. I'll try not to talk when they come past. So you can hear those final cars are in the woods, they're approaching. Some of the best forestry rallying stages here in the UK. Famous for being used in the WRC. Jones and Sean Williams. Oh, wouldn't it be great to have Rally GB back? I relented and took the sticker down that's been in my car since 2019 the other day. Bob Wiggins. His favourite was probably the track rod, a local event, but the stages were great. Woodpecker was a great event, and looking forward to the Moulton Forest next weekend now. Thanks, Bob. Anyone else want to tell us what their favourite round of the BTRDA has been this year? Either to watch or to take part in? do normally get up to the track rod, but wasn't able to this year. And I often go to the Woodpecker as well. Next up, Adam Clues and Mark Thomas. So that's almost all of these cars through the first stage of 5. Some of the cars will actually do 6, or it is planned for them to do 6 stages today. So 3 this morning and 2 this afternoon. And Jeremy Pole coming through there. So about 5 more cars, 5 more minutes of live coverage from us here at this point, and then we'll be back with you later on for LC2, but I'm not sure what time that's going to be. It depends if they make up the gap or not, or if we get further behind. So I'm not going to try and guess at this point, but we'll keep you updated on the Facebook page when we know what times, or if we roughly know when we think we might be able to come up live shortly. We'll let you know on social media, give you a heads up. In the Honda Civic. So I still don't think we're getting any time. Oh no, looks like we might be. We've got a couple of times now for stage 2. So those stage times are coming in now. So we've only got 2 times, so there's probably no point in me reading them out to you right now, because it might not mean a lot. But those live stage times are starting to come through. So we'll get a good idea of where people are. Only 5 stages today, remember. So after 2 stages, we'll have a good idea where people are. And then after 3, when we get to the lunchtime service, they'll only have 2 more remaining. However, the last stage is very long, and we've already seen 2 or 3 cars with punctures on this stage. So you don't want that to happen on a really long stage, like the final stage of the day. And Lucy Gutteridge in the Impreza. So there's a few more times now. We've got Giles Armitage 10:40. Through stage 2, Julian Burley 10:42, Rory Jones 10:47, and Daniel Shalev 10:50. Just to give you a bit of an idea of what sort of times we're going to be expecting. Obviously they're the 1400s, and historic, so we'll see some much faster times when some of the other teams get through. But also that's a slightly shorter stage than this one. 8.4 miles, that one. And then the final one that they do this morning, Brennig, their first run through there, is 4.7, so even shorter. And then they do a 5.4 loop of LC2, and then it's a 13-mile loop to finish. So the cars will be going into service after they've done their first run through Brennig. And then they'll go into service where you'll be able to see them if you want to have a wander around and get up close to some rally cars. So just 2 more cars, bringing you every single car live through stage 1 of the Cambrian Rally. That's Ross Clements and Christopher Lear. And that sounds like our final car. Daniel Markham and William Alfred Caldecott. So that brings us to the end of the live stage action for stage 1 of the Cambrian Rally and the MRF Tyres BTRDA Championship final round. We'll be back for LC2 this afternoon at an unknown time. I think it was expected to be about 20 to 2, sorry, but we'll see where we're at later on, and we'll try and give you a heads up on social media. Catch you then.